Yeah, I don't have access to their tickets, so just make sure they know that I'm
Yeah,
inviting them.
yeah, I have. Um, do. I don't know if you have the little 5 minute countdown timer, but I currently have mine rolling.
No, I don't.
uh, gotcha. No worries. Go ahead and swap Iron off to Team 2 side. And I'm just double checking these settings. Skirmish, European, match time 15 minutes, first person only. No. Yep, looks good. Oh man, I'm excited to see how this plays out. Who do you think is going to take seed one?
Oh, my mic was muted.
No
Sorry, I was gonna
worries.
say FJOD or sorry Mantra, but admittedly I haven't seen FJOD play much. I know they took a drop off of somebody like Fidelis. I think they took a drop off of, right? So we'll see.
Uh,
I thought they
they
did.
uh, they secured their position in top three by beating 5J. So
Mm-hmm.
yeah, I don't know. It looks like a strong team this year. I mean, they're obviously top 12,
Yeah.
obviously. But I don't know. I might be a little biased here and say, you know what, Fjord, Fjord's got this. Oh man. Do. Still got about 30 seconds on my little splash card. It's like mantras all ready to go. Alrighty. And I hope you don't mind, but I'm going to do a little introductory statement.
Yeah, of course. Go ahead.
Alrighty. Welcome back, Mech Warriors. I'm Luscious Balzac from FJRD, and I'm casting today with Bowser.
Hello, everybody. Good morning.
Yeah, Bowser's over there on MWO Leagues 1. I'm over here on MWO Leagues 2. So, yeah, pick your poison. Today we have Mantra versus Fjord in the invitational seeding match, trying to determine gets uh, who gets to take seed 1 and seed 2 for top 12. I'm going to go ahead and switch over to the map ban uh, scene right now, Bowser, and I'm gonna let the teams know in this lobby chat that hey, you know what? We're ready to do map bans.
I am 50 seconds behind you right now.
No worries. Alrighty. Ba, 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 da, da.
All
Well,
right, my
let's
delay is
see.
finished, so we can start.
Iron Wolfpack saying he does not see the map ban link. He does not have a ticket 1749. Ba, 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 ba. So much to do.
So the team should start their map picks very soon. We are playing 7 matches.
Alrighty. Let's see. I believe it goes team one chooses the first map, then team two picks a map, team one picks a map, team two picks a map, and then the last map is the fifth drop.
So I gave the teams go ahead to start the picks. So Mantra picks Bearclaw first. That is a very
Ooh.
interesting pick. I actually like to see that from Mantra because I think Mantra is a lot more of a well-rounded team based on what we've seen previously in this invitational. And Bearclaw is a map where you can't really full rush, you can't really full trade. It's almost more of like a very skirmishy sort of map. So we do see FJORD picking HBG Manifold. That I think is definitely a map you could see a lot more aggression on, maybe down below by Theta, light packs up on the walls, that type of thing. Early scouting would be very important. I think that plays into FJORD's favor. We see Mantra picking Terra Therma. Again, a more well-rounded map. I like to see that from Mantra. I think that's going to be the theme here for the set. And FJORD picks Frozen, with the decider being Viridian. So drop one will be Bearclaw. Perfect.
Sweet. So sorry, viewers. My map ban browser source is not working, so you likely are not seeing the map ban in progress. I don't know why that is. I have the link all set up correctly and whatnot, so who knows? Sorry, viewers.
So now they're picking team sides. We have Mantra Team 1 Bearclaw, FJORD Team 2.
See. Oh.
And flipped the other way around in HBG, we have Mantra Team 2, FJORD Team 1. And then very quick succession, Mantra into Team 1 Terra, just like Bearclaw, FJORD Team 2. So after a bit of a wait, we see Mantra Team 1 Frozen. We see Fjord Team 2. And for the decider, we see Fjord Team 1 Viridian, Mantra Team 2.
Alrighty. Well then, this is gonna be fun. There's gonna be a lot of team swapping.
Yes, there will be. That is maps and teams selected. We will go straight back to
the lobby. So, do you think there's any inherent advantages to Team One side Bearclaw?
Well, let me pull up the map for that one.
And do you think that we need to start a 5-minute timer for these teams, or?
Probably.
Alrighty.
We are after the match starts, so I would say so, just in the interest of keeping things going.
Yeah.
So I think the interesting thing about Team 1 Bearclaw is that it is strictly worse for Theta. I think the sightlines are worse coming into Theta, but some of the trade positions, like on D7, are a little bit better. So I would say that Mantra is going to want to play the side caps here on Team 1, or they're going to want to very aggressively play for Theta because Fjord have the advantage in keeping it. If they play heavily enough, I should say, for Theta, then they can maybe wrest an advantage if it's heavier than Fjord might be expecting. But really, I think it's going to come down to scouting. This map, like, regardless of teams, the teams are pretty sort of evenly matched, but it really just comes down to scouting on this map. Super, super critical, especially if one team wants to make an early play for Theta. The other side is going to have to scout that out so they don't get caught off guard.
That's a great, I don't know, analysis. That's the word I was looking for, of the map. You know, playing in Comp Q, I've been seeing a lot of teams trying to push straight across Theta. They've kind of been unga bungaing it, honestly, and streaming in one by one around the big central rock that's on the opposing sides. You know, like, I don't know. It's been interesting seeing the different variations of Unga Bunga.
Yep.
On Bearclaw.
I would like to think we're going to see a cap strat from Mantra. Excuse me. I would like to think we're going to see that because they know they should know that they're on the worst side for Theta, so they should know that they're going to want to be. And like I said earlier, they're arguably the better side for trading, especially with certain positions like that D7 rock. So they're going to want to maybe play for the side caps and Sigma. We might even see a wraparound all the way to Gamma. I think that's actually viable on this map if the other team, Fjord in this case, don't have enough that can run back. I think it's easy to take like 20 tonners and really fast things and just run all the way around the map, just like literally run circles. If Fjord, for example, takes too heavy of a deck.
Mm-hmm. Now, would you, I guess, if you were trying to circle around the map, would you go for Epsilon first or Kappa? Because I feel like Kappa is 9 times out of 10 ignored. It's just way out of the way. You can't get any quick, easy sightlines on it. Whereas with Epsilon, you just peek out from the cavern system and poke over the ridge, and boom, you have instant sightlines on it.
Well, if I'm Mantra, I'm thinking about Kappa first. The biggest reason is that I think Kappa is tricky to get later on, because Kappa is a very close quarters cap. You have a lot of like places you can ambush people trying to cap Kappa, and it's harder to deny than Epsilon. Epsilon is like all very open. It's a lot more open. Kappa's a lot less open. So I'd want to get that Kappa control early in that match before Fjord has time to do anything with any sort of light pack, is what I would want. And so Epsilon, I could send like my token Locust, my ear large machine gun Locust or whatever to deny that or do whatever is it needs to be, and then cap it later. It's more difficult to do that with the Kappa.
Very fair. And Team 1 has about 1 minute left to call their lock. And there we go. That's the 1 minute mark.
So we see Mantra readying up. They are locked, transitioning to Team 2. So looking at Mantra's roster a little bit, Dered is, I mean, he's one of the best light pilots in the game right now, for sure. And so we see him and Charlie. I think that's fairly indicative of maybe what I was talking about. Mantra wanting to send an early light to Kappa, and Gwentler is probably going to go with him. Old Hasu, Tremzois, I think I butchered his name. I apologize. Those guys I know are big players. I don't know these players too well. I just know a couple standout names, but I do know that those two are big players, so I suppose they'd be massing their big players in Alpha. We do see that Fjord are locked really quickly, so we're going to launch
No
right now.
blessed. Go, 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 go.
We'll launch.
Oh, man.
Interrupting my middle little monologue there. That's fine.
But you want to take Team 1 side? I'll take Team 2 side?
Yeah.
Sweet. So you thinking about casting more matches for player run leagues for the 2025?
That's the plan. Cast as much as I'm able.
Nice. Do need more casters. But you know what? We'll save that discussion for a later date. Here come the teams. Over here on Fjord side, we have a Shadowcat Mishipishu, Adder Prime, Firestarter A, Direwolf Ultraviolet, Madcat Bravo, Osiris 2V, interesting, and a Huntsman Packet and Executioner A.
So for Mantra, we have an Incubus Saver, Dervish 8D, Black Lantern, Executioner, Lombo Overcharge. We have the Ice Fair J, Firestarter A, and Charger 101. Well, I think that pretty much settles the deal on what Mantra's going to do. They're either playing Caps.
Oh, no.
Oh.
We messed up. Sorry, that is 100% my fault. I looked at the settings and was like, yeah, it's good, but no, it's Conquest, not Skirmish. Fudge. That is 100% my fault.
We'll just do a quick reset here. Wouldn't be a MWO Leagues cast without a complete fail. It is a little bit awkward.
It is.
Because now, I mean, I think that's a lot more important for Fjord that they see Mantra's deck.
I don't know. I think, both teams are going to be able to look at each other's decks right now, and both of them are going to be sitting there saying, wow, okay. But I don't know. I doubt Fjord will swap up their deck, and I also doubt that Mantra will. Just because I've seen this situation happen in the past with both of these teams, and you know, they haven't really they haven't swapped decks. Fjord coming out with the jokes. Ah, that's rough. I'm sorry, everybody.
I would say I'm equally sorry too, because we both failed to catch it.
Yeah.
I mean, I kind of feel like it's only fair to let the teams swap mechs. I don't know. I don't know what the rules say about that. I'm just a caster. But I guess if they want to re-ready, yeah, I feel like both sides get the right to swap mechs here.
Yeah.
They
They do. They do. I don't know, with how fast can you repeat? But yeah, as I was saying, with how fast Fjord readied back up, I doubt that they swapped.
Well, both these teams are ready. I'm gonna
We
make sure they call ready first.
well, we have the team 2 lock, but we don't have the team 1 lock yet. All right.
All right, both are locked. We're on Conquest this time. All the settings do look correct. Launching.
All right. Bear Claw, take 2. Oh man. What would MWO comp be without the lobby fails?
Wow, it's inevitable when a lot of overhead gets pressed on individual casters, so
Yeah.
sometimes these things happen. Which is why we offered the teams to swap mechs if they wished.
Yeah, does not look like either team really swapped mechs. Seeing the same mechs from Fjord. Though I am curious, what is on that Osiris 2V? We've been seeing a lot of Osiris 1Ps since the buffs at the beginning of the year.
So, just to go over the mechs again, for Mantra, we have Ice for J, Black Lantern, Charger 101, Firestarter A, we have this Incubus Saber, we have the Lombo Overcharge, Executioner, and a Dervish AD, so it is the same mechs they brought before. Let me run through builds. So we have Micropulse, HMGs, and the Ice Ferret. The Osiris 2V you asked about is 5-year mediums, 2 LMGs on Artillery Hamster. We have Eco Ninja and a Warthog. Oh, I didn't catch that. I think you mentioned that before, but interesting pick for this map. I like it. Iron Wolfpack's Executioner is basically just Hybrid Laser Vomit Micros. Noble Seed's Firestarter, Snubs and Smalls. We have Andy's Madcat, AC10, AC5 Plasmas. We have Shrem Metals, Shadowcat, Plasma, AP Gauss. We have Arthin's Pocket, Pure SRMs. Interesting. Dered's Firestarter, Light PPC Smalls. We have Gwentler's Lantern, just Small Pulse Micros. And we have the Saber, typical Saber build. So.
Yeah.
So we do see Mantra Wolfpack very heavily towards Capo, like I predicted. They are going to grab that very quickly, and of course Fjord taking the advantage here with Theta. You know, they're on the better side for it, and they know that, so they're just full on ready to fight for it. But obviously, Mantra is not going to play for that. Speaking of Mantra, look at their Sigma cap here.
Yeah, they're held up at their
looking
spawn.
to set some sort of ambush, some sort of 4-man ambush on Sigma with the light pack running around to get caps. I don't know if that's going to work out for them as well as they think so, because it seems like Mantra isn't really scouting. They're not really scouting, so they don't know how much Fjord has in the middle of the map here. And Fjord...
See, but I feel like this is kind of a repeat from what we saw Mantra do to who was it? 5J, I believe it was.
Right.
They set a trap near their home cap, and you know, much like Fjord is right now, their opponents were looking around bewildered, trying to figure out where they are. So this is interesting.
So Fjord obviously knows something is up at this point. They have, I mean, Gamma's capping fast. If Fjord's looking at that cap timer, they see Gamma ticked up really fast. And it looks like they are sending mechs back, but Mantra's going to be gone by the time that matters at all. Blacklander, Saber, Icefair, those are the exact perfect mechs you want to be doing this with. I'd like to see a 20-tonner in there, but they did not opt for that, opting for the Firestarter instead for that light.
Now it looks like DeRed in that Firestarter coming up to try and possibly sneak Theta, but Eco Ninja is staying back to cover it.
He's not going to get it, but he is getting scouting that they know they have that Adder, they know they have that Shadowcat, and he might even see the Direwolf soon. There he gets burned by the Executioner, so they have a rough idea of where Fjord is concentrated. So Fjord did send back Firestarter, Huntsman, and the Osiris to get Gamma back. This is going to be awkward for Mantra. Like, we do see at this point their Bakes have moved off Sigma, but I don't know that they have too much of a plan to take back Theta at this point. And it's going to be really difficult because Fjord has both. I mean, that Adder does put out very high DPS against a lot of those Bakes that Mantra has, but of course they have the Daka Madcat and the Daka Direwolf. So it's going to be really interesting, actually.
We see those Mantra lights down in the bottom left corner of the minimap, trying to figure out what to do. Looks like they're going to pull back and file up through the low ground.
I would really like to maybe DeRed or one of the other Mantra lights, like the Icefair, really just wrap all the way around and get Epsilon. That's what I'd like to see at this point. It's completely uncontested, and they should probably be aware that it is uncontested. And they will be able to get that faster. So DeRed is on Theta. He's trying to get Theta. He's not going to get it, though. Impossible. He needs to be really careful. He should not trade damage for this. He's not. He's running.
He's making the smart play. Don't bleed that armor.
But of course, I mean, caps are close, but it's going to swing in Fjord's favor quite quickly. They're already about 30 points ahead. I mean, on a map this big, I would say the critical point is 450. Maybe potentially even 400.
Mantra now sitting on Gamma. Man, that timer just melts away so quickly. So now we're getting an engagement. Artillery Hamster and Noblest trying to fight off the 3 Mantra mechs off of Gamma. Ooh, Mantra taking the Epsilon cap. Very nice. Looks like Mantra going straight after Iron Wolfpack. Iron Wolfpack's been legged. He's about to go down. There he goes.
Fjord making a critical misplay with that Executioner. Oh my goodness. Like, their lights just completely abandoned him, and Mantra made exactly the right play, ran on that Executioner, and they somehow got away for it. Gwendolyn's leg is open. Still not legged, but the other lights are pretty fresh. That's a huge pick for Mantra, and on the meanwhile, they pushed their larger pack finally onto Theta, so they secured Theta. And they secured Epsilon at the same time. However,
while also getting a pick.
JBV gets legged in the open here by this Mad Cat and Direwolf combined fire. So JBV is going to go down. That's a good kill, or that's a good leg, I should say, for Fjordland. But Reven in this Direwolf is completely caught out. He's no light support. He is legged. He's going to go down within seconds at this point. Fjordland's lights are trying to come in. Shredman on the Shadowcat. Noble seeing this Firestarter. They're going to probably get Mokorn and JBV, but they're kind of getting stalled. JBV does go down. Mokor's going to be next. This is kind of still anyone's game, I think, with two of these Mantra lights getting themselves killed here in the open.
Fjord now taking back Epsy.
And Artillery Hamster, though, his legs are open in that Osiris. Gwendler does go down. This is actually really bad for Fjord or Mantra. Mantra basically just lost 3 of their lights. Noble Seed does go down, though, for Hunter's Referral Win, so they are down a single light, but Mantra's basically down 3 lights. Okay, now Fjord's down 2 lights. That's good. They brought that back a little bit.
Arthen's about to get 4v1'd right now.
Yeah, they're going to kill Arthen very quickly here. Arthen is like, there he goes. That's good. I say that, but of course, Hunter the Fjordland has 2 versus 6 at this point, and they're down caps. So I would say this pretty comfortably went to Mantra. I mean...
Yeah, Mantra just needs to spread out. There's no way that Fjord can cover enough caps.
I didn't even notice this, but Eco Ninja isn't a gold adder. All I have to say is thank you for your service. Very, I like that mech pick. We don't see gold mechs very often, if ever, in this game. So thank you for your service, sir. But he is going to get Sigma. I don't think that's going to really matter, though. Artillery's legs are both open. And at
He's
this point,
trying to defend Gamma as best as possible.
Yeah, he has the range advantage on Dured's Firestarter. Unless Dured can hit him in the legs with the light PPCs, I mean, it's only going to be... Yeah, we see Mokor is one-shot. Yeah, so Artillery the Hamster's legs are both one-shot. Dured did hit him with the light PPCs there. He's trying his best, Artillery Hamster, but Mantra's about to be on a 5 cap. So... And neither of these guys are doing very much damage at this range to each other. They're both almost completely out of range. Artillery Hamster trying to push to get something done. Probably going to get his leg chopped off for that, though. He pushed up too close to the Dervish. There he is. Legs come off. And that is going to be it for Artillery Hamster. He's going to go down. And...
But he's not going down without a fight.
That will be game 1 in Mantra's favor.
GG. Very well played.
That was, honestly, that was very well done by Mantra. I think they expected some sort of heavy push from Fjord at the start of the match. Which is why they had their bigs on the back of their home cap like that. And then when that didn't materialize, they did kind of that split push with the light pack on Fjord's home cap and the bigs through to Theta. That was, honestly, that was really well done. We see the damage here. Pretty good all around the board. Old House in the Lombo didn't get a whole lot done, but he did get 2 kills. And unfortunately, Ego Ninja in that lovely adder gold, only 2 damage. He didn't have a lot to shoot at, I think. They kind of had him on denial for Theta. Mantra didn't really have anything on Theta until they had too much on Theta. And then I think Eco Ninja just kind of ran around trying to get caps. And that's kind of it.
Alrighty, I'm gonna get back to the lobby view. If I remember correctly, Mantra chose Team 2 side for HPG, right?
Yes, Mantra is Team 2 for HPG. So we'll start doing team swaps now.
And for those of you wondering, how many drops this match is going to go for, it's a 7-game playoff. It's not a best of 3, best of 5, not any of that. 7 games. Alrighty, and do not forget to swap the server. Alrighty, and with that, it looks like the side swaps are done. Settings look correct. I'm gonna go ahead and start that 5-minute timer for Team 1. But yeah, Mantra's been pulling out some very interesting, weird tactics.
I like to see it. I thought they were a little bit more predictable, but I really actually really liked what they did there on Bear Claw. I'm not huge on their mech picks. I would have liked to again maybe see like a 20 tonner, maybe a more early control of Epsilons. They didn't have to like try and wrestle Fjord's home cat from them, but like with what they had, I think they played it actually very well. So I think HPG is another map where they could do similar, but it's a lot easier to like, you know what I mean? Like it's a lot easier to scout the walls. It's a lot easier to scout a lot of the low ground. You can't like run super wide, right? Like you did on Bear Claw and just get away with it most of the time without scouting. Um, so really, I think Fjord needs to be on top of their scouting here.
And I'm just gonna double check the rules right now for the regions. Um, bu- 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 Invitational seating. I am not seeing anything about region swapping in the invitational booklet. So let me check the general rules real fast. And it looks like Team 1 is locked.
Team 1 is locked, so we'll go to Mantra Team 2. The spawns on HBG aren't too much to go off of here. So the biggest thing is Team 2 Alpha spawn and Team 1 Bravo spawn are a little bit more far forward, which means, well, let's look at it here. So Fjord is Team 1 locks. They have 4 people in Bravo, so they actually might be using that to run basement with potentially an Executioner. Well, it looks like a lot of their lights are in Alpha, actually. So, I don't know. Hard to predict on this one, I think.
Very hard to predict. Do you think we'll see any javelins? Because I remember last year javelin was quite a clutch pick, if you don't mind me saying.
I would be surprised if we see javelins. The good news, we don't have to think on it too much because Mantra is locked just now, so we're gonna go to launch. We're confirming North American servers is correct.
Yep.
Okay.
I am not seeing. I am not finding the rule for the region swapping in either of the general rules or the invitational rules. So I guess we just continue swapping between European and North America. I think Mantra is is a European team,
Yes.
aren't they?
Yes.
Yeah. Oh, I should. We did you swap the team cards on the scoreboard? There's a little option at the top of the scoreboard. It says Team 1 in lobby, left or right. Got to make sure that Team 1 in the lobby is Mantra. Got to get that side swap. Just want to make sure that we catch that while the teams are loading in here so that people do not get confused. You want Team 1 or Team 2 side?
I will cover Mantra.
Heard.
So we see Mantra dropping down. They have an Executioner M. They have a Storm Rhino Colossus. They have an Arctic Wolf Prime, Direwolf W, Viper F, Mistlings G, Firestarter A, and Shadowcat Mishipeshu.
Alrighty, over here on Fjord, that's the blue team, we have a Viper F, Summoner M, Madcat 1, Stone Rhino Colos, Shadowcat Mishipeshu, a Flea Fire Ant, Marauder 2C Delta, and an Osiris 1P.
Interesting. The Marauder especially. Well, let's look at some of these builds here. So we have the Marauder, Hag 30, Ear Large, as can probably be expected. They're getting initial trades on one of Mantra Shadowcat, I should say. The Colos from Mantra, very interestingly, is Ear Large. Actually, I did not expect that. I guess the only reason you want to bring a Colos to do that is they're going to want to move that mech around. They're going to be playing aggressive with that mech. Gwentler's Executioner from Mantra has Ear Large and red lasers. Winter's Rigor's Direwolf, Ear Large. Neon 30s Firestarter is light PVC smalls. We see Trumzavis' Viper, heavy mediums, machine guns micros. We see Mokor Shadowcats, Laser Vomit LMGs. Strong build, I think, for this map. Mislink's AP Goss micros. We see Revan's Viper, heavy machine guns Vipers. We already see they're in the basement. Speaking of, as I'm going over these mechs here, they already have Theta capped. As we saw, spawning those fast mechs in Bravo, running down there very fast. Artillery Hamsters, Osiris 1P, Heavy Machine Guns, Medium X Pulse, Iron Wolfpack's Colos, LB20, SRM 6. I like that a lot more than Mantra's Colos. And then the Mishipeshu is AP Goss Plasmas. And then Arthur's Summoner is pure Serms, basically just the pockets. And then the Fire Ant, Magshot Smalls, with the Magcat being Ear Large.
Looks like Mantra taking more of the trade position, sitting up on the walls with more long range than Fjord.
So Mantra is trying to use those 5 lights plus 4 lights plus the Executioner as a pseudo light to go. They're actually making this wrap here, and Fjord doesn't have very much scouting. I don't like this. Fjord is nobody sitting up on the wall looking around, spotting for plays like this. This is completely unspotted by Fjord, and they might get away with it. Like all that's up here is
Andy's about to get jumped on.
Both of these guys are
by these lights.
They're gonna go down. Like they're gonna go down really fast. They made it. They have no idea. Like they're on them now. Like this Magcat's dead, and the Marauder's most likely dead. Like what is this? Yeah. I can't believe
there goes the left leg, and there goes the right leg.
They're critically misplaying on this map. You have to be scouting on these maps, and they have no scouting whatsoever. Like this is completely predictable play from Mantra.
Artillery Hamster jumping up, getting shot.
And the Revan jumps up here in this Viper, but he's just going to get like 4v1, so he has to jump off. We see Fjord sitting like 6 mechs here in the low ground. They need to have a plan to kill these Mantra lights. I don't think they do. These Mantra lights just run at this point. Like they need to run now. They have Gwentler's Executioner providing cover fire, and the Colos too. I mean, this is really awkward for... They literally just sold their Magcat for free. The Marauder did get away, luckily. But, I mean, this is just a terrible position to be in if you're Fjord right now. However, the one saving grace is Fjord is sitting on a 3 cap, and Mantra doesn't seem to have much of a solution to wrest another cap away. So, if Fjord managed to play time long enough, they could pressure Mantra heavily here on caps.
Looks like Fjord's trying to get the 4 cap now. Capping Kappa.
Yeah, I think that's smart with that Flea, given their position. I think that's very smart. But of course, that Flea needs to be careful because he's on Mantra's side of the map. So if Mantra sends people over, that Flea is no help and gets caught and gets killed for free. But of course, don't think Mantra's doing that at the moment.
Mantra's sending their lights. Looks like they're sending some lights down into basement, and the Firestarter off to contest the flea on Kappa.
So we see Iron Wolfpack's Colossus here. If Mantra realizes this guy is alone, Artillery Hamster's not going to save him. Like, they could run at this Colossus and kill him literally for free. They could, of course, like, the Colossus can trade really well because it has such a high alpha. You only need one shot on a light leg, really. Even, like, not a great shot to take it out. But we see Mantra. I think they realized, or they thought the Stone Rhino was alone. They thought the Stone Rhino was alone. This actually might be a critical misplay. They didn't really scout that. They saw the Stone Rhino was alone previously, but they didn't scout it again. However, Artillery Hamster goes down. How did he get killed? Oh my goodness. Duret is just kind of tanking Iron Wolfpack and Revan right now. Duret's going to go down, especially with Shred Metal coming in the basement. There goes Duret getting shot in the back by Shred Metal. But Iron Wolfpack is almost down. They need to kill Iron Wolfpack. Yes, and Revan's Viper is legged and very hurt. They might get Mokor, though. I don't know. That's tricky. Mokor does make it, barely. But I would still think that trade is in favor of Mantra, because Mantra was already up a mech. I think that trade was in favor of Mantra. However, caps are getting critical. FJORD is on 500, about to get a 3 cap. Caps are critical for Mantra. They need to be playing for caps or playing for kills, like right now.
And now, it's important to note that FJORD neutralized Sigma.
We do see Arthin in his summoner kind of making a last stand. I'm not sure how he ended up here. Completely missed that part. But he is going to go down here to Evan Carl and Gwentler kind of for free. He bought time, though. That might be all they need, is the buying time. However, they also lose Shred Metal and the Shadow Cat, who was, of course, very hurt from that basement engagement. So at this point, Mantra is 7-4 on mechs. I mean, they just need to walk forward. Like, everybody on Mantra needs to start walking forward now and grabbing caps immediately. And it looks like that is what they're doing, but, like, they kind of need to do it faster. Like, they can't let even FJORD set on 2 caps. But, of course, FJORD, like, 2 mechs, Iron Wolfpack almost dead, the Revan legged, so it's literally just Noble Seed who's hurt, and Eco Ninja, so it's very awkward.
I feel like if FJORD is allowed to sit on these 2 caps, they win.
That's a big if, though, and as we see, Tremzolis and that Viper completely uncontested, about to grab Gamma, because FJORD really can't contest him. They have, like, a legged, badly damaged mech sitting on Theta with that Marauder. I think that Marauder should not be on Theta. I'm not sure about that. We see Eco Ninja trying to get back Kappa, though, so they're going to be on that 2 cap. Mantra needs to move faster. Mantra needs to be faster. Like,
Gwentler and JBV now about to drop on Iron Wolfpack.
Like, Eco Ninja is in a position to potentially get Sigma. They do have Winter's Rigor guarding it, though. Maybe not. But, like, I mean, 640 on a 2 cap. Mantra needs to move. And they're not. They're not moving fast enough.
JBV pushing towards Kappa. Gwentler following behind, looking around.
Eco Ninja, I mean, I don't like the play of sitting on Kappa that long, though, because now JBV and Neon 30 have basically caught up to him. I think Eco Ninja needs to play for this. He needs to play for this deny. He's running away. No. That's a huge mistake. He needs to play for the deny. They're going to get Kappa, and FJORD's going to be on a 1 cap. And they have Winter's Rigor guarding Sigma, so that's going to be very awkward now for Eco Ninja. He's just going to have to try and make a suicide charge in, but if Winter's Rigor hits his shots, he's not going to make it. We do see a fight happening over Gwentler and Iron Wolfpack. Seems to be pretty evenly matched between these two right now. Eco Ninja's pretty fresh. He did get on the cap, but of course the Direwolf is ER largest, so he's just going to scrape him to death, really. Yeah, Iron Wolfpack is getting 2v1 at this point. 1 shot left torso. He's going to go down when that left torso gets snagged. He's going to try and run into Epsilon, but he's not going to make it with 2 people on him. Tremzolis Viper charging him down. There's Winter's Rigor going after the fleet, and there goes Eco Ninja. 2v1, actually. Yep.
3v1. Technically 3v1, yeah, because he was getting sniped he was getting hit from the wall.
He was getting hit by, and he got killed by Evan Carl. So, and that is going to be it. Well played, Demantra, with that Madcap pick, especially. I think that Flea could have actually maybe won the game for FJORD. No joke. If he had just stayed
It,
Kappa and played his life to deny it, all he had to do was play time. Because look at how close these caps are right
yep,
now. Mantra
yep.
never got a solution for Theta. They never got anyone onto Theta. So, like, even imagine an extra 10 seconds of this double cap from Kappa. I think the Flea terribly misplayed Eco Ninja in that Flea. He had to be denying that Sigma. You were never going, Kappa. You were never going to make it to Sigma because they're up 7 mechs to your 2. Like, they're always going to have somebody back there to deny, and they did in that Direwolf. So looking at the damages here, we do see Eco Ninja with the 0 damage, but of course, they took him for caps, assumably. Hence why he has 2 minutes of cap time, and it almost worked, to their credit. It almost worked. We do see Noble Scene Marauder putting out a good effort, 616 damage. Pretty average damages for everybody else, but we do see Gwentler, that Executioner, that ER Large Executioner, 862 damage. That's a seriously strong mech for this map, and we see, I mean, he doubled everybody else on his team in damage. So, he... Very strong
He put in the work.
Gwentler. Yeah.
Oh, whoops. I realized I was in lobby view that entire match. I am so sorry, everybody. Hope you guys like smaller screen.
So, let me make sure we are swapping. So, match 3 is going to be Terra Therma. Yes. Mantra Team 1.
Swap those scorecard placements.
All right, teams are swapped. That was honestly, I really like that match. That was even better than the Bear Call one, I think, from Mantra. They brought it uncomfortably close, though. I would have liked to see their mechs on the walls like start walking off and just bully Fjord off of Theta. I think they shouldn't have let them sit on Theta for as long as they did. The Direwolf sitting back to the home cat was the obvious strong play, but like the Executioner, I don't think had to be where he was on Fjord's side of the map, and the Kawas like should have just ran basement, I think, and just power farmed.
Yeah, don't forget to swap the map real fast.
Right.
Awesome. But yeah, no, I agree. Mantra should have pushed up to pressure Theta. You know, while Fjord had more of the brawl deck, I don't know. I think Mantra could have gotten some good angles on the ramps.
I liked what Fjord did. Like, they still almost won in spite of losing the Mac for free. But like, I really hope that drills into Fjord for this continuing series. These guys need to scout. I don't understand why these guys are not scouting. Like, on a map like HBG, where you can literally put one mech in the middle of the wall and see both sides of the map almost for free, why would you not do that? There's no, especially when you have Theta controlled, you need to like run that Viper out, run that Shadowcat out, and have him scouting the wall. Mantra's play would have never even materialized had they seen it, but they never even saw it, and the Mac had died for free because of it, and that made Fjord's match, I mean, really, if we want to get into nitpick specifics with how close that match was, that straight up just makes the difference, having that Mad Cat alive. So,
yep.
But beyond the Mad Cat dying, they still played a strong game, but Eco, Ninja, and that Flea really needed to be more aggressive with his armor. He wasn't even open legs. Like, he really, really, really needed to just trade his life to stall that cap and just be alive as long as possible. Again, maybe an extra 10 or 15 seconds just straight up seals the deal because Mantra was too slow to get onto Theta.
I think 10 seconds would have sealed it.
Yeah. And, like, we saw he did 0 damage, which is fine if you're being a cap bot. Fine, you're not shooting much, but there's just isn't a reason to, like, not trade your life there for that cap. And Arthin in the Summoner, I'm not sure why he ended up on the far side of the wall, 2v1ing Mantra's traders. I think that mech could have been, like, sitting on basement in basement rather. It could have been even pushed out with the flea. They could have had that summoner in basement, walked out the other side, and gone to Mantra's home cap, and just like sat on the corner. So you have the flea sitting on the home cap, and you have the summoner like right around the wall, just ready to bomb people as they push to try and stop that flea.
I don't know. I think that the summoner could have actually pushed with the stone rhino.
Yes, I think so too. I did not catch where that summoner was when that fight happened, but that summoner could and should have been down there. Like, if I think that would have swayed that fight right then and there, because as we saw, like, I would argue FJORD had the advantage. They had the jump on Mantra. Mantra thought it was just the Stone Rhino, and then FJORD had mechs like ready to come in, which was very good from FJORD. Like, those mechs ready to help with that fight was very strong, and yet Mantra still arguably came out on top, which is not great. So, like, that summoner would have made the difference.
Of course. Right as I do the 2-minute call.
So we do see Mantra locked, and FJORD is locked. So
All
we're
right.
go right into it. Conquest Terra, European. Yes, yes, yes. We're going to launch. FJORD is under 5. That doesn't mean a whole lot, but potentially worth noting.
This time I got the screen transition into the match view, so you guys do not have to worry about this tiny screen on MW Leagues 2. Oh, man. You want Team 1 or Team 2 side?
I'll cover Mantra.
Team 1, heard. So, while these players load in, I'm taking a look at FJORD's list of mechs here. We got a Shadowcat, Mishipeshu, Charger 1A1, Osiris 1P, a Marauder 2C Scorch, Viper F, Javelin 11F, Linebacker Prime, and a Stone Rhino Colossus. This to me screams Brawl.
So we see from Mantra they have Ice Spirit J, Javelin 11F. We have the Shadowcat, Mishipeshu, Lambo, Overcharge, Viper C, Hellfire Void, Charger 1A1, Executioner M. Almost like a mirror deck from both of these teams, actually. almost like a straight mirror. I actually want to say I like Fjordland's deck better, though. I'm going to be honest. I think Fjordland's, like, I'm not big on the Scorch pick. The Scorch pick confuses me, but the rest of it I think is better.
Scorch is actually, like, I don't know. It might be an anchor mech for the Brawl.
Yes, it certainly is an anchor mech for the Brawl. We do see Dread getting Wit, though. Actually, these teams are just going to run it. Maybe not, actually. It looks like FJORD is going the middle of the map here. They're just charging straight through data. I'm not sure about that one. Without any scouting at all.
Does Revan see Dread and JBV?
So an interesting...
Did he spot them?
An interesting thing here, real quick, with the micro game here, or I guess macro game, if Fjordland's paying attention, they should have seen that Mantra capped Sigma really fast. I think Mantra made a mistake putting all of those mechs and stopping their bigs onto Sigma to cap it. I think that's a huge mistake. And if Fjord's paying attention, they'll see that that cap went up really fast, and they'll know that there were bigs on that cap. So we do see. Well, let's see. Let's see what we see. So Mokor actually sees all of FJORD at this point. Revan's going to try and go up to stop him. I don't know if he's going to make it. That is bad for FJORD, though.
Mokor should honestly throw up a UAV.
If he has one, I agree, yes.
Because if he does, then he can sit behind the cover for a little bit.
So Mokor does need to be careful, though. Revan is about to get up to him, and they're sending Chernobyl Toast up to try and get him as well. These guys are both struggling to get up. Revan made it, though. Chernobyl Toast, not so much. But if they do get the jump on Mokor, he could take a bunch of damage. So you do need to be careful. Fjord
Fjord going
is...
for the 3 cap.
Yes, they are going for the recap. That is very good. They're just going to have to solidify their hold on Theta, I think. Which, because Mantra has a bit more mid-range going on with the Overcharge, with the Executioner, with the Void. They have a
Revan
bit
now
more...
in a 2v1 with Tremzalus and Mokor. Sorry to interrupt you like that, but...
He did take a bunch of damage, too, for it. 74%. He's still pretty fresh, but that's a bunch of damage he probably didn't need to take. I don't think they realized Tremzalus made it up to help Mokor on that mountain. This is a lot of mountain goading we're seeing in this match. 5 mechs on this big, tall mountain. This is not something you see very often. Fjord is kind of... They're not really sure how to fight this, though, looking at them. But maybe they don't need to, because Fjord's sitting on the 3 cap. So maybe all they need to do is just sit here and stop Mantra's mountain mechs from really playing the game.
We're seeing a light engagement out between Sigma and Epsilon.
Oh, this is not good, actually. Dered caught Iron Wolfpack 1v1. He's gonna win that 1v1. I think. I mean, he should win that 1v1. He's kind of letting him get away. I think he should have stayed tighter on him. He could have killed Iron Wolfpack really quickly, but it's kind of too late. He needs to pull back now. Now Shremetal's in the fight. Dered's getting 2v1. He's going to pull out now. Now Revan comes down too. It's 3v1. Dered's taking a bunch of extra damage for his greed here. He will... Hard to say if he'll get away, actually. They don't need much
I think he'll
extra
get
damage.
away.
I mean, these guys all have LMGs, though. Dered's just getting still burned. He is faster, but by how much? It looks like he's going to get away just barely. He maybe stays an extra 1 or 2 seconds. He is dead. So he just barely gets away, but that's a bunch of extra damage he did not have to take. He should have pulled off that sooner. He should have either full committed or just pulled off sooner. So we do see Gwentler also has cover fire from him on Kappa, so Dered will get away scotch-free.
One thing I want to know is look at the UAVs on the minimap. We got Fjord with 1 UAV and Mantra with, what, 3, 4, 5?
Yeah, Mantra has 5. So there's a bit of a push here from Fjord, Linebacker, Osiris, and the Stone Rhino. I don't think they're going to get anything done. Mantra's already set up with the Void, the Charger, the Longbow, and the Javelin, so it's a 4v3. However, the rest of Fjord's mechs are coming. The Charger, the Shadowcat, the Viper, and I guess even the Scorcher's still chilling. But Fjord's going to try and get this Gamma Cap. I think they have to. They actually have to. That's all they've got going for them at this point. It's just sitting on caps and holding them. We'll see if they can peel this off. Like, Mantra's mechs are much better for stopping what Fjord's trying to do, because Fjord brought a bunch of short-range stuff. So they're just going to have to run through the open here in front of these Mantra mechs. However, I mean, there's a lot of them here, but they're all piled up. They're not really pushing. Okay, they're pushing now. Arthan leading the push in his linebacker. The wise choice. They do make it in here.
Arthan gets legged.
I think Mantra should have kited this more, though. Arthan is legged. He's still combat capable, though, and they're going to kill Evan Carl into the Charger very quickly. However, Raven is legged in his Viper, so they've traded 2 of Fjord's legs. Still not taking anybody out. Noble Seed, very hurt in his Stone Rhino Colossus. They do finally get Evan Carl there on the corner, but now Chernobyl Toast is even very hurt in his Osiris. Fjord's just losing a ton of health for making this push. Mantra's going to kite this away. Yeah, Mantra's going to get away here, but they bled the hell out of Fjordland when they made this push. They stalled on that corner too long, Fjordland. They just needed to go, I think. They shouldn't have waited. Now more damage here on... These guys need to stop pushing. This Charger, this Andy 5689, he needs to stop pushing right now. He's pushing into a potential 4-way crossfire.
Ooh, Andy gets legged.
Yes, that's really bad. That's terrible. They leg Winter's Rigor, but that doesn't matter that they leg Winter's Rigor. What does matter, though, is look at the caps. Fjordland has secured a 4 cap. That's actually very big. So
Mantra sending a mech to go contest Sigma.
And Mantra is, notably, they're down 2 mechs. Like, Fjord still has all of these mechs alive. I think, like, Mantra... So they do kill Revan. Good. They make that trade. But Mantra needed to kite this Gamma corner. Like, they should not have sat there to get ran at 7v4. They needed to kite that out. They are trading some of Fjordland's mechs, some of their hurt mechs back. 2 lights are down for Fjordland's now. They're going to get back Sigma. But I mean, Fjordlands is still sitting on a comfy 3 cap, and they still have Trounce in the Scorch, just kind of playing linebacker around Theta. He's very fresh. He needs to be careful, though. These lights, like Tremsless and Viper here, getting some backshots on him, can whittle them down very quickly. He needs to just anchor, like, a corner, honestly. I would like to see him in the, like, the trench here. I'd like to see him in this lava trench right by Theta, just sitting there, AFK, till the match ends. Just to make sure he stops Theta. Like, Fjordlands need to play caps. Like, they are down a ton of armor. And Andy here getting drilled by Gwentler and Tremsless in those 2 mechs peeking that corner. Like, Fjordlands just needs to stop peeking at this point. They need to just let the caps play. Mantra is about to get a 3 cap, though.
We're seeing Trounce deny Mokor Theta cap.
This is going to be difficult for Trounce to fight because it is a Shadow Cat. Andy does go down. Mantra repushed with Old Hasu and Tremsless using their armor to repush. That's good. Arthin is going to go down pretty quickly here when he tries to stop these guys, but he's going to have to anyway. He's just kind of... there he is. He's moving again. We have Noble Seed and Chernobyl Toast, but Noble Seed's going to go down. Like, these guys are pretty fresh still. Unless Arthin can get a good ambush on Old Hasu. He is getting good damage. Old Hasu is getting hurt. He's now red. Noble Seed does go down in that Colossus, though. Trounce is one shot in the back, by the way. I didn't even catch this. He's just getting completely wrecked by this Shadow Cat off of Mokor. But Mokor is one shot legged. He can still get this. Mokor needs to be leg shooting right about now.
Old Hasu, one touch,
does
right torso.
But Trounce goes down immediately afterwards. Wow.
Tremsless, cherry red right leg.
Old Hasu's basically one shot everywhere. Oh my god. Looking at these, like, paper dolls on these mechs, everybody is, like, super hurt. This is actually a closer match than it looks like. And Fjord... no. Fjord lost all the caps. There's 728. And...
729.
That's going to be it. That's
GG.
That's it, unfortunately. Yeah.
Yeah. Because Chernobyl Toast in the Osiris 1P is legged, does not have the speed to get to any caps. That's sad. That's very sad.
That is. I thought Fjordland was going to get it. I thought they were. I don't know. I think their push stalled way too long on Gamma, and they bled a lot of armor they didn't have to, chasing Mantra mechs around. They just bled so much armor. And looking at the damage, yeah, it's about what you expect. I think that Scorch could have been played better. I think he was meandering around a lot throughout the match. He should have just been kept around a corner to ambush, because, like, Mantra, like, they need to be aware that Mantra has all these light stuff, and lights just, they own the Scorch very hard, in lack of a better term. So, like, that Scorch just has to be hidden, waiting to get that one good shot, I think.
Just that insta-delete on the leg. But very well played by both teams. Very close match, these last two.
Yeah, these are close series. Are absolutely great to see. That really could have been anyone's game. I'm looking at the paper dolls in that match. Literally everybody was open or legged. That was actually really close. Is correct. We're not swapping.
Alrighty. I'll go ahead and start their 5-minute timer. I gotta say, Bowser, I am thankful that you are able to rattle off as fast as you have been. It's nice. I like it.
Appreciate it. Thank you. Thinking about Frozen a little bit here. So Mantra do have Team 1. They have first lock. Theoretically, Fjord has the advantage. And on a map like Frozen, I think spawns and team sides matter a lot more than on the previous maps we've seen. I would debate that Team 2 has a better straight line push to Team 1, like through Theta. But Team 1 holds better from D5, D6, somewhere in Upper City. Hard. I mean, I don't even want to predict. I don't want to make any predictions at this point, but I think we can establish one thing that Mantra does very well is they're very good with their Y pack. That's like their bread and butter as they're playing here, for lack of a better term. Like they're every single match they're consistently pulling picks on FJRD with these light packs. So really more important than like even spawns or mech choices. Really, it goes all the way past that. You need to go back to the fundamentals. Like Fjord are not scouting enough, and it is biting them in the ass. And I think it bit them on the ass there in Terra Therma too. Like I really think a lack of scouting is killing these guys. And and like Frozen is a map where you're going to want to scout. Again, you're really going to want to scout. You don't want to be caught off guard by some of these pushes.
Yep.
I do see, of course, Team 1 lock. These guys are very fast. That makes it very easy on us. Appreciate it. They're very, very fast. But of course, I don't blame them. 7-game series. I mean, they probably want to get through this very quick, as quickly as they can in a 7-game series. So,
I know I would.
Yeah, no kidding.
Looks like Fjord. They're readied up. Have not called lock yet, but they are sitting 5 ton shy of the max tonnage. There's the lock call.
All right, we will launch these guys.
Whoo, baby. Going into drop 4. I hope that Fjord can turn this around and start pulling out the Uno reverse card.
This is the game for them to win. This is the game where they can reverse sweep the series. So let's see it happen. I like their side of the map. I really want to see these guys scout. Like that's just so critical. If they can really get that down, I think they can start pulling drops. Like all these past drops have been very close. I think lost purely due to lack of scouting. Really, if we want to get down to it. So I would like to see that improvement as these guys transition this series. And I would hope, as it's a 7-game series, they're going to maybe start realizing that at this point.
Would you like Team 1 or Team 2 side?
I'll cover Mantra.
Heard Team 1. That means that Team 2 is down towards Sigma, right? Or is that Team 1?
Team 2 is Sigma, yes.
Yeah. So yeah, while these teams come flying in from off the screen, over here on Team 2 side, we have a Direwolf A, Flea 17, Thunderbolt 9S, a Wolfhound C, loyalty variant, Executioner A, Shadowcat Mishpeshu, a Osiris 1P, and a Marauder 2C Delta.
So off of Mantra, we see Black Lantern, Belinarius. We have the Flea 19, good pick. We have the Firestarter A, Executioner C, Mad Cat 1, Marauder 4L, interesting pick, Viper F, and Iceferret J. So leaning very heavy into these lights. Mantra brought 5 lights and an Executioner. So Fjordland, I like their deck. I don't understand the Wolfhound pick, but I like it. The Thunderbolt
It's interesting.
The Thunderbolt pick, I actually think, is incredibly strong for this map. There's a lot of like chest high cover and a lot of obscuring buildings, so the Thunderbolt can just barely expose and corner peek with the range quirk and triple PPCs. I'm a big fan. So looking at some of these builds here, we have the Belinarius usual red lasers. We have the Flea 17 small pulse. We have Iron Wolfpack's Executioner, just Laser Vomit Hybrid. We have Shred Metals like Shadowcat, Plasma AP Goss, Trounce's Marauder, Hag ER Large, Noble Seeds Thunderbolt, of course, triple ER PPCs as you'd expect. We have the Direwolf UAC 2s. Oh, UAC 2s and UAC 5s.
Ooh, Trounce already down to 77%.
That is very awkward for Trounce. We have Chernobyl's Osiris, Medium Pulse, HMGs, Medium X Pulse HMGs, Winter's Rigor, of course, Goss PPC. Gwentler's Executioner is basically the same as Iron Wolfpack's. Hybrid Laser Vomit, Magcat 1 for Evan Caro, Gossier Large, JBV's Flea, of course, the Mag Shots, as you'd expect, and then the Ice Ferret, Micro Pulse, Firestarter, Light PPCs. So, about what you'd expect from some of these builds. I'm not sure on that Daka Direwolf from Fjord. It's like a hybrid. It's a hybrid UAC 5, UAC 2 setup, but I think, I mean, you're going to have to push to get some of that damage into play. And I don't know if they're going to manage that against 5 lights and an Executioner from Mantra. Especially not as with Trounce down to 74%, as you said. Very hurt. He, from the looks of things, he exposed against the Marauder and the Magcat at the same time and just got smashed for it.
Yeah, both those side torsos are open. He's already taken back damage.
That's really bad for Trounce, actually, because those Marauder 2Cs, those side torsos just fall right off of those mechs. So, like, if you're already open side torsos on a Marauder 2C, matches like 3 minutes in, you're in deep shit. So, that's really awkward for him.
Mantra here with the 4-cap.
And Mantra, if they're paying attention, like, they're realizing they drilled Trounce. If they're paying attention to their shots, they're realizing they hurt him very badly. So they should realize they're up a bit on trades. However, we do see Winter's Rigor down to 73% and Evan Carl 81. So Fjord is punching back, but it's spread damage. So it's not like Trounce where he's basically open. We do see Andy getting absolutely nuked a little bit here, running through the open, trying to push to the upper city, which is really the only place I think that Direwolf can operate, which is good, but he took so much damage for it. I think he had to take a more conservative pathing because, again, like, they can't really suppress Mantra's traders at this point. Like, they're backing up a little bit, but it doesn't really matter. Though, I think this is interesting that Mantra did let them take the city. We do see this, Fjord is pushing really hard for Mantra's home cap. Speaking of pushing really hard, Neon 30 here is legged in the open. He is in the low ground, of course, so he'll be safe, but he is legged. That is a Mantra light, basically out of the game for free. Evan Carr and Winter's Rigor are going to take a lot of pressure because Mantra's lights are not helping him for some reason. Mantra's lights are kind of leaving these guys to die. Winter's Rigor is going to go down here, actually. Maybe. If he gets the reverse, he'll be safe, but he's 47% red. He's almost dead. Mantra's lights just kind of left. I don't know what the deal was there. That's terrible. And now they're just kind of clustered in the low ground. They're on 3 caps, but Fjord is actually up armor at this point. And
I would like to
Carl's
say,
getting smashed by the Direwolf too, 54%. He's forced to drop to low ground too.
the UAV usage is much better this match for Fjord.
I really like the position Fjord's in right now. There goes Winter's Rigor. He does go down, basically one shot, of course, and then if they can get the kill on Evan Carl and maybe Tremzlis, even Tremzlis bled a lot of HP here. I don't like this. Mantra like split up their light pack. They were all grouping up, going to one place in the map, and then as I'm going through the loadouts, we go back. Fjord's taking the city. There goes Neon 30 legged in his Firestarter. I mean, like, they split up their lights for some reason. This is going to be Fjord's drop. Honestly, this is Fjord's drop, I think. It's easy to say. Evan Carl goes down. It's like 8 to 5. Tremzlis goes down. It's 8 to 4. Like, this is Fjord's drop. I don't know why they split their lights up, and I don't know why they left their assaults to just die there on that F6
I don't know.
spot.
Fjord needs caps now.
They do need caps now, but they're going to get it, I think.
Like, Mokor needs to die here on Theta so that Noblesse can finish capping Theta.
There's Mokor. Just instantly dies. 4v1. So they're going to get that Theta. They do need a 4th cap really to be comfortable at this point, though. So they do need to figure out a 4th cap.
Revan going for Kappa.
That's good in his Wolfhound. Still pretty fresh if one of Mantra's mechs comes to fight. He can stall for a little bit. We see Gwentler and Dered. They basically are just trying to play time. That's all they can do at this point is play time with their 2 caps. Or it's going to be like a 1 cap at this point. We do see JBV in his Flea trying to go for Epsilon, but Eco Ninja in the Flea versus Flea, is going to catch him because Eco Ninja in that Flea 17 is faster than the Flea 19. It looks like No, that's interesting. They lost each other for a minute. JBV can win this 1v1. I think JBV should take this fight, but Iron Wolfpack is going to come and help. And when Iron Wolfpack comes, JBV doesn't win. So JBV is going to run. I think he saw that Executioner. He's going to try and run. He's going to try and get that Epsilon. I don't think he's going to make it. Oh, there it is. His leg is open. Like, he's done. He took one burn from that Executioner. His leg is done. And he ran in front of the Executioner. He's just going to try and do what he can to kill him. He's going to get like just a second, though.
DeRed's moving through the tunnel to try and get a pick on Kappa.
I think that's smart, but Revan's pretty fresh, and Revan is sitting in a good position. Revan, and of course, he has mid-range lasers on that Wolfhound, so he's going to just be able to deny DeRed forever on that cap. DeRed's not going to get it.
Gwentler taking down Shred Metal, shooting straight through his CT, I believe.
That is a good kill.
Yep.
If Dwentler can kill Andy here, they are in a better spot. I don't know if he's going to do it, though, because Andy's and Nadaka Dyer, they're both caught in the open. Well, this is a really close fight between these two guys. DeRed is going to try and charge Revan, whose legs are both open. He's going to get him. Ooh, DeRed just easily kills Revan there. That's a great burn from DeRed, getting both of his legs at once. Iron Wolfpack is coming through Theta. Noble Seed is, of course, basically one-shot CT. So this is interesting. Andy has no guns left and no ammo.
He's halved.
He has one UAC 5 left and no ammo left for his Ultra 2s. So he is effectively a stick. And so Gwentler, this Executioner, should be able to kill him easily.
Now, it is worth noting that Mantra doesn't have any caps. They're stalled out.
Yes. DeRed also killed Eco Ninja in the fleet. Completely missed that part. Mantra's pulling back a lot of these kills. However, Gwentler does go down that Executioner because Iron Wolfpack came to help. So they were doing a great job holding, but that is going to be all she wrote with DeRed. As soon as Iron Wolfpack makes it around, he will go down, and that will be the game.
Chernobyl Toast needs to get a burn on DeRed's legs. He's got to deny DeRed from getting Kappa here.
He can't easily. He's got the deny right now. DeRed can't hide. And there it goes. And that is going to be game. Well played to Fjordlands.
Wow.
That was a strong push in spite of their Marauder getting, like, very heavily damaged early on. Almost down a mech, arguably, with how much damage he took. They still pulled that back super well. Because, like, I mean, just looking at the damage on Mantra's Lights, like, Mantra's Lights were just scattered to the wind. Just, honestly, really good scores all around. Iron Wolfpack with the 4 kills in his Executioner. Even Trounce, though, in the Marauder, he got hurt very early, but he still ended up putting out 400 damage. So that's pretty good, considering how much damage he took early.
Very well played. And like I said, I enjoyed seeing the increase in the amount of UAVs used from Fjord.
Absolutely.
Get back to this lobby view. Let's see. Next map is Viridian Bog.
Yes.
And now we are going to have a side swap. I forget, are the maps in alphabetical order? I don't think they are.
No. Let me change to Viridian. I'm just managing stream stuff, so that's kind of how it goes when You have one person doing everything, right? It's like it takes time.
Yep.
So these teams have to
Yep.
give us some patience here as we cycle through overlays and updating scores and everything like that. So that's
Oh,
just kind of how
believe
it
me,
goes.
I know. I know. Alrighty. Taking a look. Conquest. Blah, blah, blah. And Team 1 has 5 minutes to call their lock.
Viridian. This is a fun map, and I think this is a map that Fjord, with the way they play, has an advantage on. If they play this map the way they played last match, I think they have a strong advantage here on this Viridian.
To my knowledge, it is the smallest map in the pool.
Yes. Which I think benefits, based on how I'm seeing these two teams play in this series, I think that benefits Fjord. I think Mantra really benefits from being able to stretch the legs of their lights. Again, we're seeing a lot of light flanks. We're seeing a lot of heavy wolf packs. That last game, Mantra brought literally 5 lights and an executioner. So Viridian is a little bit more tricky to get that width. You can get a lot of depth on Viridian though. You can stretch far if you're aggressive into the enemy side of the map. And I'd like to see that come from either of these teams. I mean, really, we kind of almost saw Fjord adapt to Mantra, if we will. Barring the
That
fact
makes
that
sense.
Mantra split up their light pack, barring that fact, a huge mistake, but barring that, I think Fjord almost played that the way Mantra has been playing previously. And, in fact, almost like a mirror of the HPG match. Almost. It wasn't quite a pick, but, like, how fast they killed, who was it, Winter Rigor and the Marauder? Like, just uncontested. It was very similar with the sort of aggression and the sort of wide flank they pulled on both maps. So, I want to see Fjord take that same level of aggression into Viridian, where Mantra can't get as wide.
Now, I know in Comp Q, I personally have been seeing a lot of hold strats for Viridian, not a whole lot of push strats, sadly.
Yes, I would agree with that. But on the flip side, I think Viridian is a map where you can do both, genuinely, because as I mentioned before, it's very like the depth is very deep, but it's not very wide. So you don't need to cover a lot of ground, if that makes sense, with your
Yep.
traders. And there's a lot of high ground spots. You can put like one mech that can just see a whole lot of area of the map. It's similar-ish to HPG. I brought it up a lot earlier on HPG too, where you can kind of have just like one mech seeing a lot. I think you kind of have that same syndrome here with Viridian. So it's really a map where you can do both. Again, kind of the same with Frozen. I don't even want to predict what these two teams are going to bring. We've seen a lot of... I want to say we've seen a lot of similar mechs between the two, though. So we've seen a lot of staples. We've obviously seen the Executioners. Those are just a given, I think, most of the time. You know what I'd like to see, though, from Fjord? As they lock here first in this match, I'd like to see that adder. I think
the gold adder comeback.
I'd like to see that adder pick. I think that is a strong map, or that is a potentially strong mech on this map, because there's not a lot of width to this map. And so you don't have to have that adder running around to try and compensate for its lack of speed. You can have it just gunboating, trying to win whatever cap you throw it on. So we do see Iron Wolfpack locked for Fjord, and I guess we're going to see Mantra locked here very soon, because they're all readied up. Yep, they are instantly locked. Excellent. We are launching. All right.
just making sure that I have the teams on the correct sides for the scorecards. Yep, I do. You want team 1?
My mic was muted. I'll start with Mantra. So Mantra has Viper C, Fui 19, Mislinks G, the Shadowcat Mishapeshu. They have Stone Rhino 1, Dervish, 8D again, Direwolf S, and Executioner C.
Direwolf S. That's an interesting CT pick.
That is interesting. I'll be curious to look at his build. Just looking at his weapons, it looks like AC2s. Looks like just full AC2s on that Direwolf S, as we're just looking at the model on the ground. And what do we have for Fjord?
We got a Shadowcat P, a Flea 17, Osiris 1P, Stone Rhino 1, Executioner E, Charger Lucky number 7, Summoner M, and a Viper F.
Charger number 7. I like it.
Yes.
Interesting.
Yeah, I'm actually going to take a quick peek at his build. 3 large X-Pulse, 3 medium X-Pulse. So it looks like this is the same sort of strat that they used during the first round of Invitationals.
So we do see, really quickly, these sides both are one to contest for Theta, but it looks like initially Mantra are sending more to this cap than Fjord, which is bad because they're not going to be able to get it. It looks like they realize that, and they're pulling the Flea and Viper and the Shadowcat off, and I guess the Mistlings too. So they're going to cede Theta completely to Fjord. I think that's good, and looks like they're going to push. Let's see how this develops. They're clustering towards the middle of the map here. They're going to try and get Kappa real quick. That's actually really late to get Kappa. They should have committed somebody to get that, because if Fjord has like a denier, like one guy to deny that, they could just deny that forever. But they did not, so Mantra's going to get away with it and get Kappa. Fjord does have the Charger, Flea, Shadowcat, Viper, and Osiris. 5-man pack on Theta pushing through. Mantra has no scouting on this, far as I can tell. The Stone Rhino has his back turn walking away. The Executioner, I'm not sure.
Mantra's lights now converging in Delta 5 on Iron Wolfpack and Arthen.
So this this Executioner, he just shot at this pushing Mantra, Fjord Force. He needs to run now. This Executioner is just staying here. He needs to run now. He's running now, but now he's in the open, getting drilled by Andy in the Stone Rhino 1. While I'm just looking at the other side of the map, Iron Wolfpack just goes straight up down, and Arthen is going to be next. How did that happen? Oh my goodness. 0 scouting from Fjord, and Arthen just instantly goes down too. How were these guys over here with no scouting?
They had the scouting, they had the UAV. I think they overestimated the capabilities of their mechs.
Just as quickly, Revan goes down somehow from Fjord's push. They're gonna get Winter's Rigor, but they're down 3 mechs already.
Yeah, this is not looking good.
How did that Executioner and Summoner get caught with no scouting? They didn't have a light with them or anything. I don't understand that. That's really bad.
The lights all push down into the bog to support the number 7 on its push up the ramp.
Like, one of those guys needed to be up high or something. I don't know. They both shouldn't have been on the low ground just sitting there. And Artoi Hamster is lagged. He's going to go down here in his Osiris. I want to say good counter push from Mantra, but they got 2 of Fjord's mechs for free. So, like, it's hard to come back from that. Gwentler is getting very hurt in his Executioner, though. That might be a kill eventually. Otherwise, though, like, Mantra's fresh. And Fjord's down 3 mechs. 7-4. I don't know.
Yep.
And Noble Seed's going to get caught in the open here. He is about to be rounded the corner by 5 of Mantra's mechs here. Same for Shred Metal. He's going to go down. I don't know what Eco Ninja's doing. He's doing his best, but he's not going to ever beat a Stone Rhino and a Dervish. And that's it. That's just it. When they lost that Summoner and Executioner, I would argue that's the game thrown. You cannot have that much tonnage die for free with no trade, with no scouting. That's insane. even if they had bought a bunch of time, maybe you could play off the time because they were they were killing Winter's Rigor and potentially setting up to kill a couple of the other Mantra mechs, but they just died naturally because you have 4 guys running at you, and that's it. That is the fastest match in the series. That is a sub 5-minute game. Well played to Mantra. The lack of scouting from FJORD biting them in the ass once again. That's so dangerous to have those 2 mechs like being here, just sitting in the low ground in the corner of the map. Like, if you just go down to where they died, like, look at the angles they have for visibility. There's nothing. The Mantra could have had a Stone Rhino around that corner and kill them just as easily, and they would have been none the wiser. You can't see anything from this low and this wide. You have to have something up high to be scouting for these people, and they didn't do that. And Andy putting in good work, though, in that Stone Rhino. 723 damage. You do love to see it. Iron Wolfpack not even getting a singular alpha from his Executioner. 25 damage. You don't like to see that out of your 95-ton investment. Pretty standard damage numbers all around, though, I want to say otherwise. I liked where it's going at first for FJORD. I mean, that's the match thrown when you have that much shit die. It's really unfortunate.
Yep.
I hate to rag on it, but it's just super important that you, especially as this series continues, there are still 2 more games in this series to play out. Try and wrestle back some wins here. It's like, you have to be cognizant on the scouting. I brought it time and time and time again, and it seems they're still letting it go down. It's very unfortunate to see. But when they're on top of it, like, they pull games out, they pull close matches out. And now we will go to the next set of picks.
Yep, I am getting these teams. Yep. I am getting these teams their links. Oh boy.
So for those watching, because it's a 7-game series, we will of course be repeating maps. For us as casters, very interested to see, especially FJORD, but I mean, depending on some of these map picks, I'm interested to see how they replay some of these matches. Usually that's not something you have to do in a series, right? It's usually just one and done. One map and you're done. That's kind of how it's been for a long time. But having to replay a map, I think, is very interesting.
Accidentally sent Mantra the Team 2 link, and I am now getting FJORD their link. Alrighty. You want to get the new link and ticket. The map ban. You have the second map ban link, right?
Absolutely.
Alrighty. Let me know when you are ready to do that link.
I am good to go.
Boop, 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 boop.
they're saying they need the map bans turned
on. I gave them the links. It should all be set up. Ba, 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 ba.
Yeah, I think in the interest of time, I agree with what Iron Wolfpack said. I think we just pick in the lobby. If it seems like they're having issues with the site, I don't think we need to. I mean, we're just casters. I don't, as far as I'm aware, there's nothing we can do to fix it. So.
Yeah.
Oh, you just said works now. For hot off the presses, you just said it works. All right, fantastic.
Alrighty. Let's see what map Mantra decides to play.
I feel like if I'm Mantra, I'm playing one of the maps that they lost. If I'm Mantra, and it looks like that's not the case. So Mantra is picking Terra Therma with FJORD picking Bearclaw. Mantra, of course, Team 1, and now FJORD is picking Team Side on Bearclaw.
Mantra picks Team 2 for Bearclaw.
Right. So we will swap.
Now it's interesting that that Mantra decided Terra Therma again, because that match was pretty close.
I agree. I guess they feel the most confident in Terra Therma. I mean, I would assume so based on the fact they picked it again. But I felt like that was one of the worst matches they played, I think, arguably. Like that was, I mean, outside of obviously Frozen where they lost, I don't know. I think that's an interesting pick. I don't know. I don't know much to go off on that pick. From an external perspective, that's very interesting.
It's very it is very interesting. All right, I'm gonna start their timer. Now I wonder if we'll see the same mechs and same strat, or if they have a secret sauce, strat cooked up for this second match.
I would have to think that they have something completely different. And that is the one justification you can make to Terra, is because Mantra showed their hand with a heavy push, you could easily see something leaning into more of a heavy control, especially as they have the Team 1 side pretty much universally considered pull the map here. Pretty much universally considered better for holding Theta, the Team 1 side. So you could very much, like I said, they already revealed their hand for a push. So I would expect, and I think you could very likely see, that there is a control strat in the works coming out of these guys. It's interesting for FJORD if that's the case. Because if they try that sort of heavy push, that might be very awkward. Pushing into a predicted, like, Mantra control.
Now, one mech that I'm surprised we didn't see at all from Fjord is kind of our staple mech, the the Crusader,
I am surprised neither teams have brought Crusaders.
right?
It's a very strong mech. For example, for HBG, it's a very strong mech on HBG for starters. It's strong for Theta. Maybe not for what they were trying, or not for Theta. I'm sorry, for Terra Therma. Maybe not for what these teams were trying to do on Terra Therma, but
It's
like,
strong on Bog.
yes, it's very strong on Bog. Very, very, very powerful on Bog, and I'm surprised we're not seeing it at all. I would argue it's like almost universal. Really, the only like downside is if you're like heavy pushing, it's very squishy.
Mm-hmm.
So, and when these teams were heavy pushing and they didn't bring Crusaders, I think that can be expected because again, it's very squishy. But again, on HPG like Fjord, I would have expected to see a Crusader with the way they played HPG.
Right? We'll see if the Crusader makes a showing here in these final two matches.
I would like to see it come out of Fjord. That'd be optimistic of me to say that, but I would really like to see it. I think it's a strong counter pick to the sort of heavy, light wolf packing that Mantra has won games off of in this series.
Yep. Looks like somebody accidentally sold a mech that they were supposed to bring. Rutro.
Maybe it's the Crusader. It's the mystery Crusader back to the mech lab.
I mean, I don't know why. I don't know why you would sell a Crusader. Yeah, I personally I sold out. I got all four of them Krails. I got the 460s. Like, let's go. I'm stacked on Crusaders. I don't know if you noticed, but Mantra, it looks like they swapped a player in Irrelevant Mirror.
They did. I would guess very strict, or very like basically that one of the guys had to go. I mean, this is a crazy long series. We're at almost 2 hours on this cast, so.
Whew. Yeah. Alrighty, both teams are locked.
We're gonna launch. All right. Interestingly to note, as we go into this match here with Fjord locked up, the Revan, who's usually been like a big player, usually isn't a big player or like an executioner. No, the executioner has been Iron Wolfpack. Usually he's like a big player, I believe, Revan, and he is an alpha. Versus the rest of his team is in Bravo Charlie, more Kappa Theta. So he might be sitting, like he might be solo warrioring Gamma, which we've seen how that ends when you face Mantra Wolfpack aggression. So be curious to see where they end up putting him or how fast the mech that he's in is going to be put there, actually. Pay attention to that as this match goes on.
Yeah, Revan is actually in a Piranha A. Piranha
really?
Alpha this
Okay.
drop. Yeah.
Interesting. That Piranha pick is ballsy. That's a very ballsy pick. That mech dies to a stiff breeze.
So over on Fjord, we have a Stalker 3F, a Adder Prime G, a Piranha A Rifleman 8D, Executioner A, Dervish Frenzy, interesting, Charger 1A1, and a Shadowcat Mishapeshu.
So coming out of Mantra, we have Shadowcat Mishapeshu, we have the Lombo Overcharge, Charger 1A1, Viper C, Javelin, 11 F, Hellfire, Void, Executioner M, and Ice Spirit J. I believe that is literally an exact duplicate of their previous deck. Remains to be seen how they play it, but I believe it is an exact duplicate, and it looks like they're even playing it the same way. They're sending their bigs to Sigma again. I don't like that. That's not great. If FJORD keeps on top of their scouting, this could be really bad for Mantra. And it looks like FJORD is heavy sending Kappa this time instead of Theta. I like that better, because they're not on as good side for Theta. So I like the heavy Kappa send. This is going to be interesting, though. They're going to get scouted very quickly by Dered and JBV in the Javelins. They're going to see all these mechs clustered here. They do. They see them all. Mantra knows what's up. FJORD doesn't. I don't like that.
I love the build on this Stalker. It's MRM 100. Let's go, baby.
MRM 100. That's very strange. This could be a map to justify it on, but that's very strange.
The Rifleman has 2 Rack 5s.
Also very strange. We do see Eco Ninja in that Adder Prime Gold with the AP Goss. I think that's fine for this map because you don't need a lot of width in that slow Adder. This is just kind of an interesting stalemate. Mantra knows they need to pull range. They are doing the correct thing by pulling back as far as they can here. But FJORD just kind of stalled. And this is not good because Mantra can just get Theta if they want. However, they have not done that. Revan is about to run into Theta with his Piranha. That's not bad. As we see Dered and JBV coming from behind to try and take Epsilon back. That will give Hunter of the Fjordlands an early 4 cap. Going to be soon a 3 cap.
We see Tremzalus and Mokor back on top where they were the last match.
Mountain goading. We do like to see it. Iron Impact is taking quite a bit of damage from that Viper there up on that mountain. 80%. You don't like losing 20% at the start in that Executioner there. No very fresh, of course. It seems like
Noblest asking for the batch all, but getting refused.
It seems like FJORD don't really want to contest Mantra on this mountain, and I think that might be a mistake. We do see Revan kind of getting caught in that Piranha, though. He wasn't scouting, apparently, down that Epsilon lane, and he takes a bunch of damage from JBV and Dered. He does make it away. He does make it away, but you don't like losing 30% of your mech in a Piranha. That hurts.
Now we're getting a big old trade here from the 4-man squad from Mantra versus 4 mechs from FJORD.
They ended up pushing while we were looking at Theta, or while I was looking at Theta, they pushed. I think that's a mistake. You're pushing right into the DPS of the Adder, right into the DPS of the Rifleman, the Stalker, the Charger. That's a big mistake, and we see them hemorrhaging a lot of armor for it. They need to get width on these mechs here. They need, this Executioner is good width. They need more width from these bigs here. Kind of just getting pushed into the low ground by this FJORD pressure. They're going to be sending back the lights. Dered and JBV. I don't know what these guys are going to do here exactly. For these
Irrelevant Mirror getting focus fired.
Yeah.
CT Orange.
Irrelevant Mirror is going to go down, like, literally in just a second. And that is it. He goes down. Andy is eating a lot of damage in his Charger. Andy's going to go down in just a second in his Charger. Andy does go down very quickly. Good response from the Mantra Lights. They did come back. Tremzalus hop off the mountain. Mokor jumping down. Ooh, this is actually really bad for FJORD. This turned terrible for FJORD. They're now in a multi-way crossfire with the Stalker going down basically for free. Now it's every man for himself with the bigs on Mantra just crossfiring the hell out of all these Fjordland bigs. We're going to see this Rifleman go down quickly. The Shadowcat does go down just as quickly. We're going to see the Adder go down almost instantly. And then Noble seeing the Rifleman. And now it's 7 versus 3. Or 6 versus 3. That turned absolutely disastrous for Forlands. They were in a great position, but I guess they thought they had it really comfortable because they just sat there and was kind of putting a lot of hurt on Mantra's bigs. But
now, Fjordlands has been sitting on a 4 cap here for a while.
Yes, but the Fjordlands only has 1 light left, and it's only 450. Like,
that is true.
Mantra has a lot of like, and we see a little duel happening here. Oh, how did old Hasu die? He was almost fresh. Wait.
Oh, the frenzy's a rocket launcher.
Oh, it's a rocket frenzy. Oh my goodness. Okay, so the Rocket Frenzy one shot old Hasu, maybe in the back, hard to tell based on the angle, and then he kills himself for it. I guess that's trading. Iron Wolfpack is gonna go down there, getting run down by Gwentler and Winter's Rigor. Mokor is legged as far as I can tell, and halved. Yes, legged and halved, so he's kind of out of it, but Iron Wolfpack is gonna go down, and then it's a 5v1. Revan's Prana is going to have to put in some overtime.
So Revan's over here sitting on Sigma right now. I hate that cap point because it's just so loud.
Yeah, it's very wide out in the open.
Is Mokor legged here? He is. Let's see, what does Revan have on that Piranha A? Is it just the... Yep. LMG's Heavy Meads. Left leg Cherry Red. About to go. There it goes. Tremsolus catching him as he makes his way towards Kappa. Revan taking down Tremsolus. Now engaging with the Red.
And 620s on that Dervish, or Frenzy. That's crazy. And Revan does go down. He gets the Red's leg, but that is going to be it. That is a deck of all time coming out of Fjordlands. I really hate to say it, but if they had slightly more optimized mechs, it would have been nicer, I think, for them. Like, that Stalker just... I don't know. That Stalker... we see 131 damage out of the Stalker. Like, that's less than 2 alphas, right? And it's hard to get value out of those MRMs, I think, unless you fight on specific areas. Like, it's interesting in theory, especially on this map, but in practice, I think it's hard to get value out of it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
especially with only having about roughly 550 meter range hard capped.
Yeah. And, like, even if you're getting, like, even with that 100 MRMs you've got, like...
You're heat capping very quickly.
I mean, it's not just that. Like, your damage is all spread everywhere at mid-range. Like, it's really not 100. It's much less until you get into a brawl scenario.
Yep.
Okay, so it'll be the last match. That is firmly supplanted. I mean, Mantra already won the series, but they firmly supplanted their victory in the series. Congratulations to them at this point. But one more match.
One more match. We are heading off to Bear Claw, and Mantra is on Team 2 side. Looks like these teams are squaring up for some battles. And I'm going to hit them with the 5 minutes to lock.
Well, I don't really blame them. It's hard to blame the teams at this point because, I mean, really the series was decided 2 matches ago. So at this point, Fjordland's just kind of in it for the fun of it. And with how long this series is, I mean, it's hard. It's really hard to blame these guys for wanting to do funny things. And hopefully that'll be entertaining to the viewers if they do, actually. So I'm very curious to see if they actually follow through on what they're saying here in the lobby. This could be, at least, if nothing else, very amusing to watch.
It will be very amusing to watch. If being the operative word, if they go through with it. So it looks like they have a rotation: assault, medium, heavy, light, heavy, medium, assault, light. Wonder how they're going to track that. Let's be honest. This is what viewers want to see.
At this point, I agree. After six long matches, I agree. I don't even have anything to say or add on. We're just gonna have to watch it unfold. Really,
Yeah.
all eyes on the players and the teams at this point.
Oh man. Still about 2 minutes 45 seconds left on the clock for Team One, but I'm gonna wait until it gets down to 2 minutes to give them a notification. This is interesting. I wonder if Arthan's going to be bringing the double heavy Goss Thanatos. So you know he likes to bring that to 1v1s.
Let's see the Rocket Dervish. That was a really good kill on Old Hasu in that last game with that Rocket Dervish. It didn't change much of anything, but it was a really funny kill, if anything. So I'd be very curious. Maybe you can pull that if they're actually doing 1v1s or whatever, then maybe you can pull that off against his opponent here.
Be funny. It would be funny. Like Mantra's down a player. Wonder if it's just you know, getting late for them. I don't know. It might be dinner time. Or maybe they have a player in the mech lab setting up a 1v1 mech.
That's what I would think. Is they're probably setting up something completely like one off just for this.
I mean, why wouldn't you?
Yeah, for sure. I don't think either team like this seems like something that they just cooked up like right now.
Circle sounds more epic. Okay, we're gonna get a true batch all. Now, I wonder if it's going to be allowed that um, if somebody fires upon a mech that's not participating in the batch all, like if they're in the circle, uh, if they're a part of the circle, if that mech can join in. Alrighty, both teams are locked.
All right. We are launching.
Echo line. That is a little bit past Theta towards Team 2 side, correct? Should be the first little airstrip past Theta.
Yes. So we see these guys dropping in, and yeah, it's about what you expect. So we have Mantra, we have Dervish AD, we have Incubus Saber, we have Stone Rhino 1, a Summoner Pride, we have the Mad Cat 1, Catapult A1, Hellspawn 9F, Fleet 15.
And over here on Fjord side, we have an Urban Mech R80, the Adder Prime Gold, Commando 3A, the Arthen in his Thanatos 5S with what I presume to be double heavy Gauss. I'm just going to double check that real fast. Yes, it is. A Victor 9A1, Orion K, Dragon 1G, and a Fafnir, a Trial Fafnir.
Interesting. We'll look at some of these builds. So, Shred Metal, double Stumblers PPC, triple Smalls, and that Urban Mech. Neon, that's a standard Incubus build. The Red, that's pretty standard Dervish AD. Hellspawn, yeah, it's very standard 4S from 6, 3 small pulse. JBV in the Flea 15, interesting pick. 4 small X pulse, regular small, 2 HMGs. The Summoner Pride is just full SRMs. Irrelevant Mirror, SRM Catapult. Tremzolis, that looks like a fun build. Ultra 20, Hag 30, ER small, ER large, 2 small pulse, 2 Stern 4s. That's a very interesting build.
Jeez.
And we do see Ego Ninja in that gold adder with the AP Goss. Commando 3A, double Storm 6, double Smalls, as expected. Arthin in that double Heavy Goss, double Flamer Thanatos, as you said he would be in. And then we do see Noble C in the Trial Fafnir, double Heavy Goss, triple Medium Pulse. And then Iron Wolfpack, I believe you said double Heavy Goss Victor. So that is what he... And then Andy in this... That's a fun looking Orion. So he has AC-10, 4 light PPCs, MRM 30, and a Rocket 15. That looks like a 1v1 spec build. And then Trounce in the Grand Dragon, double Snubnose, double SRM 4, double Flamer. And then
now, I wouldn't...
Carl, normal Stone Rhino.
I wouldn't be bringing Andy's Orion into a 1v1. It seems like a batch all mech, not really a 1v1 mech.
We do see Evan Carl and Noble Seed are going to take to the Circle of Equals, and they are going to fight to the death. I think the Stone Rhino is going to crush the Fafnir. Let's look at this from the cockpit perspective, if we can, if I can catch them before they go down.
Evan Carlisle, cockpit orange, has gotten hit in the face.
So, I mean, Noble Seed's cockpit right now, he is getting good damage to the Stone Rhino, but he's almost halved. He is halved. Kind of a very uneven fight for this Fafnir, unfortunately. His right torso is now one shot. The Stone Rhino has all of his weapons. His right torso is gone. The Stone Rhino does shut down, but he only has 1 medium pulse. And I guess that is going to be it for their 1v1. It is just a matter of time until the Stone Rhino kills him.
If Noblesse could get a shot on that cockpit, maybe 2 full burns, Evan would go down, but it's not going to happen.
That's not going to happen, unfortunately. So who is next? There will be more assaults going off. I guess that's what they were saying. So maybe we'll see Tremzolis' Mad Cat in action against the Victor. So yeah, they're saying they bid Trem, and then, yeah, so it's going to be Tremzolis' Mad Cat versus Iron Wolfpack in that Heavy Goss Victor. I don't even know who's going to win this one. I think Tremzolis' build is absolutely insane, but he might be able to get away with it because it has very high burst, and he is going for the Victor's legs. I think that's actually a good play. That is actually a strong play in this matchup. But Iron Wolfpack just absolutely nailing him every shot in the CT. He's almost open. Tremzolis not getting super effective damage onto him. His build is very hot. Very hot, actually, looking at his heat right now.
Now,
we see Iron Wolfpack kind of just waiting for the shot. He did miss. So Tremzolis took his shot. We do see a lot of damage onto that Victor. That Victor CT is open and his left torso is open, basically for 1.5 shots. So we
Oh.
see Trums is one-shot CT. The Victor's also one-shot CT. They're both one-shot for each other. That's a good shot from Trumsless, but he overheats himself. He needs to get this kill now. Just look at him, look at him, look at him. Shoot him. No, and he goes down. I think he had to just keep his weapons on target because he overheated himself so much. That was very close, though. Closer than I expected from that Mad Cat build, that's for sure. So it looks like now they're going down to heavies where the Assault's dead. Arthin is stepping up to the ring.
Target acquired. New target acquired.
I guess the Orion's going to go up? Oh, no. The Orion is on his team.
Summoner?
Yeah, looks like the Summoner.
Activated.
This is not... Okay, so it is going to be the Summoner. They bid Winters. This is not a fight. I favor the Thanatos winning. But if the Thanatos can keep his Flamers on the Summoner, he might be able to pull it out. And they start within Flamer range. So the Summoner's going to have to watch his heat very carefully. He's going to go for legs, of course, on Thanatos. Thanatos hitting him very hard. Good shot on the right torso and the CT. The Summoner shuts down. The Flamers did it. He missed his head. I think he tried to aim for his head there. He did miss it, but the Summoner's now one shot right torso. And the Summoner's just sitting at heat cap forever at this point.
Yep.
Well, and there's his right torso. Now he's like turbo heat capped. CT's open, but he still has a bunch of Serms. The Thanatos is overheating, and the Summoner did get his leg. Oh, but he's one-shot CT, and that is it. Another close match. Another close match.
Very close.
I think if the Summoner didn't shut down, he could have pulled it out. I think he had to let his heat try and dissipate more. So now it's going to be Andy in this Orion, I guess, versus Irrelevant Mirror. This is not a match I favor the Orion in at all. Not against a 6 Serm 6 Artemis Catapult. Yeah, looks like it's going to be the Irrelevant Mirror. And they are fighting.
Andy whiffing those MRMs.
He did get that rocket on target, though, and he's getting good damage onto the right torso of that Catapult. That Catapult is now one-shot right torso if he takes it off. But the Catapult's getting tons of damage on him. There goes his torso. He is now overheating with that LFE. Can he get the torso on the Catapult? He can maybe pull it back. He still has his AC-10 if he does. Ah, he misses the shot. Unfortunate. He still has it. There he is. He did get it. He is still in a decent position because you see the Catapult's now overheating. The Catapult's badly overheating, and he gets him. Oh my goodness.
Wow.
Andy's funny Orion for the win. Well played to him. So now it looks like Trounce is going up in his... Oh, no. Maybe they're talking about another condition right now. Of course, we do have to keep in mind the match time. These teams have to keep that in mind. It is 7 minutes left, so... Okay, actually, it looks like it's Trounce versus... Dervish. Yeah, Dered into Dervish. Of course, Trounce, again, starting in Flamer range, so Dered needs to watch his heat, unlike Rinter's Rigor on the Summoner. He is watching his heat, though. He almost has the Dragon legged. He's at a big advantage once he takes that leg off. He does get the leg. And the Dragon shuts down due to his own heat. He's holding the Flamers on him too long, because Flamers exponentially build up heat as you hold them on, and the red wins. Well played.
Very nicely done.
Target acquired.
So it looks like they're bidding Eco Ninja in that Adder Gold.
New target acquired.
And they're going to bid Moko in that Hellspawn. This is, again, not a fight I'm going to favor the Adderin. The Adderin wants to be in range of those AP Goss at all times. And he doesn't, like... He doesn't want to be close. He wants to be utilizing all the range he can. And the Hellspawn is a mech that wants to close. So they are fighting now. Of course, the Adder can still do it, but it's going to be tricky. You see the Adder just Oh, he headshot him!
What?
And he wins via headshot. Well
Wow.
played to Ego Ninja. And folks watching, tuning into the stream, that's why you don't strip too much head armor off of a comp mech. Because stuff like that can happen. And when it does, it can be game losing.
All right, looks like it's going to be Neon versus Artillery Hamster, Commando versus Incubus.
If I can get onto these guys real quick. So there we go. Commando versus Incubus. Pretty even fight because they start both up close. Commando's getting ahead in the damage race right now.
But the Saber has more DPS.
Yes.
Critical damage.
But the Commando's starting to draw to CT. He is now open CT. He hasn't even opened a Commando's legs. He has to be really careful here. He is now one-shot CT. And that is it. He does kill Neon in the Incubus. He also killed one of his friends in the process, accidentally. I think he shot a Serm into the air, and a Serm hit Iron Wolfpack's Victor, who was literally one-shot red CT. So,
he should have been, torso twisting.
so now it looks like it's going to be Shred Metal in the Urban Mech, last but not least, I believe, versus JBV in the Flea. This is a fight I much favor the Urban Mech. He only has to land a couple good snubs on that Flea to kill him. So, and there it is. First shot right into the Flea's left leg, making it orange already. Of course, that Flea does have high DPS, so he has to keep on target.
5%.
Another good hit on the Flea. The Flea's one shot left leg. If he can get that leg, it's his game.
55%. Fuel
He's almost got it. He's having trouble acquiring the Flea, though. He got it. There's the leg on the Flea. But, of course, the Flea has tons of DPS. He doesn't know quite where to shoot, and then he goes down. That Flea does have a lot of DPS.
That Flea did a very good job of shield legging, too.
So, who are the survivors? Hard to tell, because it's a little bit buggy right now.
We got Eco
they're
Ninja,
gonna
Artillery
FFA.
Hamster,
They're gonna-
Arthun,
They're,
and B.
they're going to FFA. They're FFAing now. They're going up for the FFA. Artillery Hamster, then Andy going down, then Evan Carl, then Arthun. Eco Ninja in that adder can carry it, though. He's got armor. He needs to kill that Flea quickly. But, of course, he's getting shot in the back by the Dervish. Can Eco Ninja do it? I don't think he can. He got his leg. He still has not killed JBV. If he killed JBV faster, I think he could have done it. But he still has not killed JBV. And Dered, right after killing Eco Ninja, kills JBV. And that is going to be... I guess that's a drop win for Mantra. I think that goes up for a drop win for Mantra.
Yes. Yes,
I think
it
by all
does.
metrics, there it is, 750 caps, Mantra the last mech. And they are now first seed in MWO CS24. So they are the team to beat this year. Anyone coming out of ComQ will be placed lower seed. They have won, it would be 6-1. Well played to Mantra, well played to FJORD. There were a lot of close games in the series. From an observer's perspective, I really think if their scouting was improved, they could have pulled at least an extra 2 drops. Easily, maybe more. So that's really the big thing to take away from this. Of course, tons of time to practice still left in this tournament. Or not tons, but plenty. And that will be it.
Well, thank you so much, Bowser, for signing up to cast this match. It truly was a pleasure.
Yeah, thank you for having me. And happy to cast.
Yeah. I look forward to seeing more casts from you in the top 12s.
Absolutely, looking forward to it. Well played to Mantra, well played to FJORD. Very close games in this series. Once again, have to extend apologies from both of us for the first game screw up. But of course, that's why we offered to let them change their mechs. That's kind of how it goes if you screw up like that.
Yep.
But hopefully the rest was pretty good. And that will be it.
Alrighty. Thank you so much, everybody, for coming out, supporting us casters, supporting MWO Comp, supporting PGI, and supporting MechWarrior Online. It's been a pleasure. I'm Luscious Balzac from FJRD. Keep it luscious.
And I'm Bowser. I'll see you guys later. Thank you, everybody, for watching.